This heart's been broken, used like a machine. Please insert token. This heart's been broken, used like a machine. Please insert token. Now I'm smoking and choking, just trying to make this desolate place a shiny Sunday, back in the heyday. Doctor, 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 mayday, mayday. My heart needs a restart. Cut out the malignant part so I can get a new start. Falling apart, can't get out of my head. Stuck inside of my head. Something's out to kill me, may wind up dead. These voices wanna take me over, Lord. Draw closer, closer, and I pray. And hell jumps on me every day. How much more can I take before I blow up or drift away? So much dismay, left confused, blue, mistreated, and abused. How about you? Go. Stay close to you, 'cause darling, you're my home. Lord, draw closer, closer and closer. Till this hell is absolutely over. Too much hell, too much dismay, too much things in my way. How am I supposed to get back to that heyday? I don't know. Someone tell me how to get out of this hell. Someone show me. I smell. Someone help me. Please, please, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like Swiss cheese, and my mind feels like that too. And so battered, blue, and abused. Can you even see what's inside of me? What surrounds me? What I go through every day just to put the words on these songs so you can listen to them and let them play. I'm trying to talk to you, I'm trying to get to you, getting to you, getting to you, getting to you before I turn plum blue. Welcome to the Jbizzle Show, episode 7. I hope you enjoyed The Trapped by Jbizzle. That song comes from the heart and soul and mind of your very own Jordan Bumgarner, also known as Jbizzle. I hope you guys feel it. I really put my feelings and my heart and my soul into the music, and that's what I really want to lean towards. Also, health and fitness is very important to me as well. If you follow my TikTok, I've done a transformation over 9 months, on becoming a different person, and it's really about a boy becoming a man. And you know what? It may have took me a long time to do such a thing, but I'm gonna tell you what, guys. When your daddy tells you something to do something. Your dad, do it. You know, my dad told me a long time ago. He said I should lift weights when I was a young kid. I didn't listen to him. Um, it took me until the beginning of this year to start lifting weights. And now look at everything. It's changing for me because I decided to listen to my dad. You know, honor your father and your mother. And I plan to do that with every bone and fiber in my being. I plan to do that. Um, so this show's gonna be about learning to listen to others and just love, man. It's all about love. It, all this hatred and being spewed around and all this war being spewed around, man. We need something else to put our eyes on that ain't some of this nonsense, guys. I mean, we don't need all this. We don't.
The reality is, life, this is the control and influence model. There's very few things in life that we fully control or don't control. You see the short list here. Uncontrollable, weather, economy, adversity. A lot of the controllables, the good news is, they're inside of you. Your effort, your attitude, your action, your energy, all that, the way you react. So in this case, Colin takes a knee, that's the adversity. Jed has a response, uncontrollable to controllable. So here's the end of that story, and here's the net result on the bottom line that I haven't shared just yet. And this is how it comes back to this room. For the last 5 years before this story, we finished top 4 in customer service ratings in the entire NFL. And so what ended up happening with those 70 or 80% of fans that said, I'm never gonna pay another invoice unless you cut them, about a quarter of them stuck to that word. We retained 3/4. My theory is, because we treated people like gold in the blue skies, we were better able to weather the storm.
And that's just it, guys. You should treat others the way you want to be treated. Stop all the hate, man. Just be good to people, man. And I know the devil be getting up on you, getting under your skin, trying to make you feel all sorts of ways, and all these other spirits be trying to make you feel all sorts of ways, but they don't have the power over you. The Lord defeated them long ago and give you the power and authority over them. So you just move on in your life and don't let those spirits control you. Okay? So let's jump back in.
This is a debits and credits game. We show up at our best in pristine conditions because you never know when the storm will strike. So this is the second action item. When you're engaging internally with one another and collaborating, or externally with customers and in the marketplace, when you can control the controllables most effectively, then you will inevitably be able to influence, not control, influence the storm. Think of the adversities that you face. Better yet, imagine what adversities could be a year or two out that we don't even know about yet. It's time to start stacking up those debits right now, and it starts by leading yourself. Third pillar, salute the long snapper. So yes, it's a position in football. I think of this as the everyday role player in life. See how this lands. Have you ever done 100 things and 99 were right, and you never heard a word? And then you do that one thing wrong, and you never hear the end of it. That ever happened to you? It certainly has happened to me.
Yes, it has happened to me. How about you? Put it in the comments.
And if we're being honest, the majority of us have been in that situation. And that is the life that a long snapper lives. They don't get credit if they do their job well, but they do one bad snap and they're toast. So this is about shining a light on the darkest corners of the locker room. The darkest corners where people don't feel seen, valued, heard. Frankly, these are...
Guys, that's powerful words. That's what this is about. We need to shine our lights on the darkest corners of the earth. Period. Guys, we got to get out there. We got to speak up. We gotta get out of our comfort zones. Guys, if you got hopes, talents, and dreams, I suggest you go after those. Working out got me started, and kind of give me a foundation. Not to say that Jesus isn't my foundation and my rock, but on top of that is what I'm saying. That got me going in this life. Because I was a highly depressed individual, um, with almost no hopes and no dreams.
A lot of societal things that we're dealing with. It's because we only shine a light on the quarterbacks, not on the long snappers. So my career started right here in the glitz and glamour of Los Angeles, 2004/5 NBA season, Kobe and Shaq Lakers. It was all amazing stuff. You're in Hollywood. I mean, amazing. But that's not my story, because I worked for the other team. They called us the redheaded stepchild of the building. ESPN called us the worst brand in sports the year before I started. So 30 NBA teams. This is my first positional leadership role, had it for 2 years, inside sales manager. Year 1, we finished 28th out of 30 in revenue. And nobody blinked an eye. They said, yeah, that sounds about right. It's a bad product on the court, and so revenue correlation makes sense. So what happens, because the next year, we finished 2nd in revenue with the same bad product on the court. And here's how it went down. I take one of my guys, Eddie, out to lunch. I look up to Eddie, rock star, on the production side and just in the life side. I just considered him a mentor. Even though he reported to me, that just did not matter. Eddie was my guy. So I go out with Eddie, and I say, Eddie, I'm really confused because this is at the time we were 28th. And I said, I look around the team, I see a ton of talent, and yet the results don't reflect. What's up? And he goes, well, what are we doing right now? I said, I don't know, man, we're having lunch. Yeah, exactly, we're having lunch. Like, is it fair to say we're breaking bread? Yeah, for sure. When's the last time you broke bread with anybody on the team outside of me? That's how Eddie showed up that day. I did not love hearing it, but I needed to, because I only had a relationship with one person on a team of a dozen, and that's on me. I was only paying attention to my quarterback, not on the long snappers. And I'm not making excuses here, but I was never managed in a way where I was coddled or cared for. Like, I'm not knocking my managers, but like my first 2 or 3 sports is a sink or swim type of an industry. There is minimal love, minimal compassion. It is just you hit the number or you don't last. I was in a recruiting class of 8, only half made it to the 2nd month on the job. It was that type of environment. I'm not making excuses, but that's what colored this rule. I was managing through the golden rule, treat others as you want to be treated, and I didn't know what it was like to have a manager that cared for me. I, at this point in my career, did not have one, and so I became that. I became it. And then, fast forward, I implemented the platinum rule, which is you treat others as they want to be treated, not as you want to be treated. They were not clones of Paul. I need to treat them like independent souls that were showing up, and I'm like, what is in your best interest? And the more that
Exactly. Every human being has a soul on this earth, guys. And I sung about that in the last song, rapped about it. And I spoke about it on a live the other day on TikTok. This Matrix NPC stuff is dehumanizing. It makes you think that other people aren't really people. Okay? So don't fall for that trap. That trap is a dark, dark pit of a hole, and it's straight out of hell. No, treat others with compassion and love and care and kindness. Okay? And also treat yourself that way. Treat yourself with love, compassion, care, and kindness. And watch how far you go in the world.
I can be that servant leader, then that's when the floodgates open up in terms of all the goodness, the results, and the impact. That's how we went from 28 to 2. So here's what happens. Then you start climbing the ladder and you start just taking off on this magical ride. And so I go from LA to New Orleans, Sacramento, New York, and then San Francisco.
We, in our culture, exalt eros to the point of we begin to think that it actually, let's say this, that it actually means something. Now, obviously, the desire you have.
And what he is referring to here, guys, is eros. That is that physical desire, affections that you feel for another person. Like when you go into dating a new person and you're getting all them new feelings and this, that, and the other.
For your spouse, the desire you have for the person you love, of course, it means something. But we know this, it can't mean everything. Why? Because even those people who are ancient, the people who named eros for what it is, like the ancient Greeks, who weren't by any means, the most virtuous people ever, even they understood that eros is the most fleeting, it's the most temporary of all the loves, right? That love of affection, love of friendship, love of self-giving love. Eros, that love of desire, is the most temporary of all of them. And so you wouldn't ever, ever in a million years want to base a major life decision off of eros. Because as Bob would find out,
And that's why people call it the honeymoon phase, too. Because it's fleeting. That's not what matters. And I'm learning here, too. This is a big eye-opener for me. I hope it is you too. Because there is a bigger love than all that.
can be married to Sue and then fall in love, have eros for Sally. And same thing can happen with Sally or Sue or anybody, any of us. It is the most foolish thing to make a decision, especially a decision of like a bachelor, bachelorette, let's get married, off of that feeling of eros. In fact, there are things that we could base that decision off of. In fact, there are what I constantly encounter in the couples that I deal with when it comes to their dating relationships, or when they're even in their marriage prep, if they might be even engaged, that I have to bring up. And there are areas, 4 areas, where if there is serious disagreement, these might be what you call the deal breaker areas. And the 4 areas are faith, family, finances, and the last one doesn't have anything to do with F, it's intimacy. So faith, family, finances, and intimacy issues. If there is enough disagreement in one of these even 4 areas, then that could potentially be a deal breaker. Now you could say, but I have this affection, I have this love, I have this eros for this other person. And that's awesome. That even though it's temporary, even though it's fleeting, even though you'd be foolish to base a decision off of that, it's still good, it's still fine. We'll say it's fine, yet. That doesn't resolve the fact that we don't believe the same things when it comes to faith. That doesn't resolve the fact that you and I don't see eye to eye when it comes to family. That doesn't resolve the fact that when it comes to how we spend money and how we live our lives financially, we're at odds. And it does not resolve how we approach intimacy with one another.
So on that note, guys, faith, family, intimacy, and finances, okay? If there's enough disagreement, you're going to have trouble. So when we're getting to know someone else, especially in the dating area, what else should we do besides just focus on those feelings? We need to get to know the person for who they are. Hey, are you a Christian? Hey, are you a Muslim? Hey, what kind of movies do you like? What kind of food do you like? And then, just get to know them really good. And then when you get to the really, well, they're all really serious, but you have to get to know a person pretty well before you start talking about finances and intimacy, okay? Don't just jump into intimacy right away with someone, okay? You can get your heart broken real quick like that, because sex will mess the relationship up immediately if you do that. I know that from experience, And on another note, just try to love everybody and spread love, man. Come on. The Bible says God is love. Try to love everybody and spread love. When you start to get angry, hey, the Lord says don't get angry fast. That's something that I can work on myself. You know, don't do it. Just don't do it, okay? Just try to make ourselves better every day and keep applying the pressure. And I hope you enjoyed The Trapped by Jbizzle, the song at the first of the show. And I hope you enjoyed the show as well. Wanted to take your mind off all the other stuff and let's just learn how to treat others. Let's just start from there. That's a good place to start at. Let's just learn how to treat each other again. Because it seems like everybody has forgotten how to treat each other. And we all just need to start loving each other a little bit more. It's October 20th, 2023. This has been the Jbizzle Show. God bless you. I love each and every one of you. We'll see you Monday. Have a good weekend.